Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I was going through and closing out my December budget when I realized something incredibly cool that I can now do because I track my finances. And that is that I can now go in and I can track an entire year to see how much we spent, saved, invested, and paid towards debt. I have never been able to do this because I've never tracked my finances for an entire year like I did in 2025. But I thought it would be really fun today to go through and tell you guys some of the highlights or just the main spending that we did. Hopefully this gives you some motivation to track your spending for the entire year of 2026. So you will be able to look back next December and see where all of your money went for an entire year. So let's go ahead and get into where all my money went in 2025. For the year, our total take-home pay, so everything that we physically got to take home at the end of the day, after taxes and all of that, was $183,000. And our total outgo was everything that we spent, put towards debt, invested, all of that, was $177,850. The remainder, which was just over $5,000, went into savings. The total amount that we invested from that take-home amount was $45,000. So this does not count any of my full-time job retirement or any other investments that my husband did. This was basically just money that we took home and had it in our account. We then purposefully went and invested it either into our Roth IRAs. So both my husband and I have Roth IRAs. I just say maxing our Roth IRA, but I mean both of those Roth IRAs. And then I also invested into a brokerage account for us as a household. The amount that went towards extra debt payments, so this was above and beyond any minimum payments that we had to make, was $32,605 towards extra debt payments, which is absolutely insane to me. The total amount that we spent, not including our debt and investments, was $100,245.60. So here are the top 4 categories of where we spent our most money in 2025. So we spent $20,659.40 towards housing. This includes our mortgage for our home here and a mortgage for the other home that we ended up selling in August. So we did have those mortgage payments up through August, and then we've had this house mortgage payments all year. Daycare payments were $20,454.91. That is for one child to go to daycare. Towards our car payments, we ended up putting $13,803.72 in the year. Groceries were our 5th highest at $10,314.44. Between these top 4 categories, this was about 65% of our total spending for the year. Our next highest spending went to utilities, and that was $6,788.62. This is things like water, power, internet, and to be honest, I think I put insurance under there too, which is not technically a utility, but I just added it in this category. Our next highest category was eating out at restaurants, and it was $6,504.23 for us to eat out this entire year. So more than half of that spending for eating out went to a total of 10 different places. So we do have a habit of kind of sticking to the same places to eat out, but I do it somewhat intentionally because I sign up for rewards for the restaurants and places, and that way I can get as many rewards back. So I try to continuously go to the same places so that I can take advantage of the rewards as much as possible. If I am going to eat out, I would rather do it at the same place over and over so that I can at least get those like free meals or whatever that comes with your every like 5th or 10th purchase. Our next highest spending was at Amazon. So on Amazon, we spent $5,244.95. Amazon includes things like all of our Christmas spend, or like majority of our Christmas spending, kids clothing. So like if I need to get my toddler some stuff, but it's also mostly household. So anything like toilet paper, paper towels, detergent, medicine, toiletries, any of those like useful items for around the house, we use Amazon for it because of 2 things. One, like our deodorant and like shampoo and that we buy in bulk on Amazon. And so we just get them shipped to us like every 3 months or so. So we have a lot of things on auto ship. I will say that I've seen people talk about how they want to cancel their Amazon subscription and not support Amazon. And I am 100% for that. Right now in our lives, it's just a lot easier for stuff to get shipped to us, especially having a toddler in that. It's just easier for your detergent to just be like on the porch when you need it every 2 months. Our next highest category was miscellaneous spending. This was $2,630.59. This was things like our escrow back payment. So we ended up having a back due escrow last year, and we also have one this year that I actually have to pay in January. But we paid our escrow back payment in January. This was things like tax filing fees, our bank appraisal to come and get our PMI removed. Any sort of those like fees, appraisals, back payments, stuff like that went under this category. Up next is toddler spending. So we ended up spending $2,001.89 on our son throughout the year. This was just for things like activities, or if I signed us up for like the family museum, or if I signed him up for like baseball, got him baseball stuff, anything like that, that went under this category. So around $2,000 for him for the year. Our personal spending ended up coming out to $1,386.08. This was personal spending for both me and my husband for the entire year. And when I tell you, I am so excited for the day that I get to put some personal spending back in regularly every month in our category, like our budget. I cannot wait to be able to just, I don't know, buy a new shirt every so often. I have been wearing the same clothing for so long now. At least I was like excited that we switched into the winter months because I at least got to pull out all of my winter clothing. But I'm looking forward to the day where I get some personal spending put back in. But for right now, we have kept personal spending very low. And of this $1,386.08, two categories were the highest. One was a Scheels purchase that is like it's kind of like a sporting goods store, but they have clothing in that. My husband ended up spending $344.50 for himself at Scheels in October. And the next highest one was at Old Navy in May, and this was me purchasing $208.59 worth of some clothing for myself. So that was both of our like highest personal spending. I could tell that we just kind of went a long time without getting anything like clothing. And then all of a sudden we just went and like bought a lot at one time for each of us. Our next highest category was subscriptions at $1,269.75 on various subscriptions like Netflix, basically like video subscriptions, but we also have a trash can cleaner. We started doing this when my son was a baby. They come and they like spray out our outdoor trash can and just make it nice and fresh and clean. And then, I don't know, we've just kept doing it once a month because it's nice to have and it's just something that we don't have to deal with. That is only like $15 a month that we spend. But other than that, we do have lots of like video subscription, and I pay for YouTube Premium as well. So those are like my big main spending categories. A couple other little spending of note here, but I'm not going to go through like every little line item. But at various department stores, this is things like Lowe's or Target or anything like that. We ended up spending $524.10. I have no idea what we purchased there, but it was just like anytime maybe we needed little like certain things, we would run into department stores and buy something. And then for sweet treats, this is anytime we went and got ice cream or popcorn at the movie theater, we spent $248.44 for the entire year. And then for coffee, this is the coolest part, and I have my little coffee here today to celebrate this little spending of note. For the entire year, all 12 months, I only spent $49.16 at various coffee shops. This is incredible to me. Up until October of 2024, I was spending about $300 a month at various coffee shops. So the fact that I went from $300 a month to $49.16 for an entire year is absolutely insane to me. And I could not be more proud of that moment right there. It's the little wins like that being able to do this full year review and looking at all of my spending for the year, I am so glad that I did this and that I was able to break everything down, because this is so cool and so motivating. I want to keep doing this for 2026 and keep doing better, but I do think we need to give ourselves a little bit more personal spending in 2026. Maybe not at the very beginning months, but I do think we should probably give ourselves a little bit more, because looking at this, obviously we spend a lot eating out, but I do definitely see where we have deprived ourselves for the year just to sacrifice to be able to put so much towards our debts as possible. I'm really proud that we have been able to do that, but I can definitely look back and see the deprivation that was there on like personal spending and the sacrifices that we made for debt payoff, and we'll continue to do so until June, and then we'll give ourselves a little bit of breathing room after that. So that is where most of our money went in 2025. If you are interested in being able to do something like this to see just a complete overview of where all your money went and every category that it went to, I highly recommend that you start tracking your spending in January of 2026 and keep it going every month. I will be here to keep you motivated and to show you that I am tracking all of my spending and my finances for the entire year. So if you need a motivator, I will always be here to help you out. But then in December, you'll be able to look at everything and just see a complete overview of an audit of your spending for the year. As always, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in my next video. It's just proof that I've been drinking my coffee this entire time.